Now at 5, firefighters responding to a 2-alarm fire in Salt Lake City overnight. We take you live to see the damage. Plus,
answers. The family is looking for answers.
A Utah family is asking for your help almost 2 years after their granddaughter went missing. How much they're offering for any information, and the identity of the man responsible for the deadly Texas shooting taking the lives of 8 people.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Hello, I'm Sarah Murphy. Thanks for joining us tonight for ABC4 News at 5. We begin this evening in Salt Lake City, where 3 buildings are destroyed after a fire overnight. ABC4's Annika Johns joins us live from the scene of the fire with a closer look and the latest information from police. Annika?
Yeah, that's right, Sarah. So as you look around me, behind me, right next to me, there is not much left and a lot of destruction from the fire that took place yesterday or earlier this morning. My apologies. I'm going to send my photographer Megan in to give you a little bit of a closer look at what we're seeing. Obviously, there's not a lot to see other than some burnt wood. The roof has fully collapsed, it looks like, and there's a speaker on the floor. I believe that's what I'm looking at, and some outlets on the wall that are very much burnt. Officials with the Salt Lake fire say that the initial call came from Gold Cross personnel who reported the flames after passing by the area around 1:30 a.m. this morning. Officials say that the fire spread from the initial building to the ones directly north and south of it. Upon arrival, the fire was fully involved, which means the fire had complete control of the structure, so the building was fully engulfed in flames. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but officials say that no one has come forward with reports of any injuries. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Annika Johns, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Annika. In an update today, a man is in jail after vandalizing cars in the side of a business Saturday morning. Salt Lake City police arrested 28-year-old David Kaloka. They say he's responsible for spray painting those cars you're seeing there and the side of a pet daycare on North Temple, about a block away from the Utah State Fairgrounds. Police say he did over $1,500 worth of damage. He's now booked in the Salt Lake County Metro Jail. And in Utah County, a Santa Quin man is dead, and his mother is in the hospital after the man's son accidentally changed gears of a truck they were using to do yard work on Saturday. A 23-year-old father and his 47-year-old mother were reportedly cleaning up the yard of the home at the time, loading large rocks into the bed of the truck, which was parked on a slope towards the yard. The man's child then climbed into the truck, pulled the gear shift, which was reportedly broken, and able to move despite the truck's engine being off. The truck then rolled backwards onto the father and the grandmother. The grandmother was reportedly flown to the hospital with serious injuries. Officers performed life-saving measures on the boy's father, but at the scene, he was pronounced dead. Shifting gears here in a weather alert, we're seeing pictures right there from the Uinta-Wasatch Cache National Forest near Highway 150 at Soapstone Basin and Highway 35 at Knoblets. Now, both are closed still from snow. It's May and they're still closed. We're also seeing a photo of the Provo River there at Soapstone Basin Road. The water is seen there appearing to be pretty high. And yesterday, this photo shared showing the south end of Nebo Creek Road and a closure in place for public safety after washout across the road, leaving that giant hole that you just saw in that picture. So time now to check in with meteorologist Nate Larson. Nate, clearly we've been talking about it quite a lot, but these warming temperatures having a bit of an effect after a pretty cold and lots of snow-filled winter.
Yeah, definitely wreaking havoc on some of the infrastructure, right? The roadways in those rural areas. We're looking at more showers. The cooler weather, though, helping with some of the runoff. Let's show you a look outside the University of Utah campus off towards the west, looking over downtown. You can see some of the ominous clouds. Had a little bit of a rain cloud move through. No real lightning being seen this afternoon with some of the showers that are moving through. We are expecting, again, more showers, possibly some storms, mainly over the higher terrain. Fairly calm winds here at the studio. This is the Colonial Flag shot. Temperatures 63 degrees. So we have managed to get to around the forecasted high, forecasted 64 for today. Northwest winds at 10 miles per hour, keeping us below average. Usually we're in the upper 60s, near 70 degrees. And winds have been breezy, if not gusty. 21 mile per hour wind gust at the airport. Showers very scattered and spotty in nature across much of central and northern Utah. We aren't, again, seeing much, if any, lightning strikes. Areas that we've seen the bulk of precipitation has mainly been in Tooele and and portions of Salt Lake and Utah County, seeing some showers across the point of the mountain now on the eastern slopes, eastern benches as we get into the Wasatch Range. And we're expecting a slight chance of some showers to stick around into the late evening hours. In fact, chance of showers and storms now. We'll see just a slight chance into the evening. Sunset 8:29 tonight. Temperatures falling into the 50s at 9 o'clock. Do have possibly a bit of a treat for you tonight out in the skies if you look up towards the north. We'll talk more about what possibly could happen. Details on that coming up. Sarah?
All right, thank you, Nate. The family of a missing Utah girl is asking for your help almost 2 years after she disappeared. ABC4 News spoke with that family and learned why, if you have any updates or information on her location, they're offering an extra $20,000 to the reward.
It's been 22 months next week that she's been gone.
Almost 2 years.
I try my best to go on and act like I'm okay. You have to try and be okay. You can't, if you let this get to you, it's just so hard to explain. I'm trying not to cry.
Of hiding emotions for Diane Carpenter.
It's a horrible thing to go through. I mean, imagine not knowing where your child was. Imagine not knowing, are they being tortured? You know, are they okay?
In July 2021, Diane's granddaughter, then 16-year-old Candace Harris, was in a treatment center in Salt Lake City. She hopped a fence there and ran away. Her family hasn't seen her since.
The fact that Candace, we haven't heard from her at all, leads us to believe that something terrible has happened to her.
So they're taking action. Candace's family raised the reward for any information to $30,000. They say Candace's case is now an active cold case, and they don't want the tips to stop.
Doesn't matter how big or how little of information. If somebody knows anything, I plead that they come forward.
Candace, now 18, almost 2 years later, family says they're not giving up.
I wish I had $100,000 to put out on Candace's reward, but realistically, my family, we don't have a lot of money, but at the same time, you can't put a value on a child's life. I mean, I would give $1 million if I could find Candace right now and bring her home.
So they're asking for your help. If you have any information on Candace's location, you can call Salt Lake Police, or for an anonymous report, you can call the number you just saw there on your screen. Now, in other news, housing prices are sky high, making it more and more difficult for first-time buyers to get a home. The Utah Housing Corporation is now working to help those buyers take that next step. They're working with builders and lenders, providing down payment assistance to help people buy that first house. A bill passed during this year's legislative session is adding to the portfolio, saying in part it provides up to $20,000 in assistance, and that $20,000 can be used for interest rate buy down, closing costs, or down payment assistance. So for more information on the program, you can visit the website you're seeing right there on the bottom of your screen. Now, new at 5, the Wasatch Reptile Expo today at the Utah State Fair Park here in Salt Lake City. Some of the top breeders in the United States were there, with lots of reptiles, amphibians, and spiders from around the world. They were showing off different reptiles you could buy, but they say if you're not interested in a new pet, it's also just a good place to get closer to nature. The organizer says it's a family-friendly event for all ages.
If someone has a phobia, we've had lots of people that have come down that were, well, bringing their kids, but were afraid, and then at the educational booths, they're able to, touch the animal and find out a lot of the things that they thought weren't quite true.
So he also says a lot of the fears that you might have about reptiles, once you kind of get to know them, are not usually the case. Now, while today's event wrapped up earlier this afternoon, they're going to be back in October. Coming up on ABC4 News, the man who shot and killed 8 people in a mall in Texas yesterday has now been identified. More on who he is.
All right, and small changes to our flood advisories. We'll talk about where we're not seeing as big of concerns and which areas we're still watching. Details after the break.